All right, so like I said, there's multiple choice and there's true false. And going back to chapter 1, does anybody remember who the first landscape maintenance contractor was?
To be fired?
To be fired.
Adam.
Adam. Adam was the first one to be fired off of the job. That was kind of a joke from the author of the book. So during the 1930s, people had elaborate private gardens. Well, in the 30s, you started seeing those decline in Europe and the United States. Why was that? More specifically, economy was one. I mean, economy is one, but there was the Great Depression, and what did we see an increase?
War.
The war generated income. The economy boomed during the war. But right after the Great Depression, what did we see an increase in? There was a type of tax that we saw.
Luxury tax.
There was inheritance taxes. You've seen an increase in inheritance tax. People quit having these elaborate gardens because when they died and they passed it on to their children, they were just having to pay more and more taxes on it. Right out of the book. So, a piece of direct mail has a 20% chance of capturing the reader's attention for how many seconds? Your direct mail piece has a 20% chance of capturing the reader's attention. So they get it out of their mailbox, they're looking at it. They're either going to look at it, they got a 20% chance that they're going to look at it, but how long are they going to look at it before they toss it in the trash?
Is it just a second?
It's 8 seconds. 8 seconds, right out of the book. Right out of the book, right out of the lecture.
That's chapter 2.
Should be chapter 2, marketing. All right. Also from the book, a recent survey indicated that franchises could have initial fees as low as $3,000, but they could reach as much as how much? This is helping you remember hearing these answers.
You say initial fees?
Yeah, you're going to have to buy a franchise up front.
Oh,
We paid $17,500 for Christmas decor. But they said there's a range. The cheapest one they found in the landscaping industry is around $3,000, and the highest one could reach up as high as how much? $80,000. So some of these larger franchises are charging $80,000 just for the franchise. That's up front. Give me that check, and then you're going to give me a percentage of what you made for the whole time you have this franchise. So they range between $3,000 and $80,000. Now here's a good one. And somebody may want to come up here and work this like out on the board. We have a snowstorm here for Site Tech. The maintenance department removes snow from 26 miles of sidewalks. Now think about each campus that we have. We have several campuses. So 26 miles of sidewalks. If the sidewalk average is 3 feet, how many square feet is that?
Three times 26.
No, you got 26 miles.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you got to
yeah.
convert miles into feet. How many miles per foot? I mean, how many feet's in a mile?
5,200 feet.
5,280
Okay, so it's 5,280.
times 26. Somebody have a phone or a calculator?
I've got 3 calculators in my book.
100,000, 137,280.
It's not what I'm getting. What are y'all getting on the calculator?
137,280.
Oh, that's not bad. Do not go for it.
So 26 times 5,200. What'd you get?
137,280.
Okay, so you are right. Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay. And
That's not it, is it? Because then you have to do 3. Is that all?
yes, you're right. And the snowfall this year has already been 6 inches. So we already got 6 inches of snow. Suppose every snowfall evenly blanketed the sidewalks. How many cubic feet of snow has been shoveled by the Forsyth Tech maintenance crew this year so far? So we had 6 inches of
So
snow.
then multiply. Oh, this is feet.
That's square
This
feet.
is inches, so we have to
Multiply that times inches.
make this inches.
Or you multiply it by 0.5.
Or we just have it?
What's your construction calculator saying?
68,640.
68,000.
640.
I just want to have it. So you could either have it, or you could just multiply it, or divide it by.
Well, 6 inches is converted to decimal.
Okay, oh, okay.
Easy enough, right?
Not for me. Got some of it.
There's guys.
When did aggressive lawn care companies start franchising? What decade?
I'll say 60.
Aggressively. It happened during the 90s. Golf courses kept for how much annual freshwater usage for irrigation? Percentage.
I see it in my head.
See it in the
I
book.
see the paragraph in my head. I highlighted it so brightly. Because you asked that on like the second day of class too, with the questions on the board. I think.
It's 1.5%. Basically, I don't want y'all to remember the answers. I want y'all to start thinking about the questions. And then you'll have this link to go back and look at. So you guys should be 4 100s right here. I mean, we're definitely going over the test. Growth in professional landscape and lawn management has been enhanced by what? Eric's teachings? Lisa's teachings? Growth in professional landscape and lawn management has been enhanced by what? Given your choices, Eric's teachings, new trucks, none of the answers, or technology. Technology. So it's process of elimination.
Now, if we chose for teaching just to be nice, would we get a
Yeah,
point?
All right, this one goes back to snow removal. How many acres of sidewalks do the Forsyth Tech maintenance crews shovel if an acre is equivalent to what? 43,560. And I tell you that. Remember, they shovel 26 miles of sidewalks that have an average width of 3 feet, and there is 5,280 feet in a mile. So we're going to figure out how many acres that they're shoveling. So what do we have? We did 26 miles. Times what?
Times half.
How many square feet is that?
And 137,280.
280?
Yes.
All right. 43,560.
Okay,
What is
so
that?
we're dividing the 137,285 by 43.
3.515?
3.15.
3.15?
Mhm.
So they did a little over 3 acres of sidewalks. We're just converting it. So how many acres of sidewalks do the site tech maintenance crew shovel if an acre is equivalent to 43,560? Remember, they shoveled 26 miles of sidewalks that have an average width of 3 feet, and there is 52.80 in a mile. No, totally wrong. Totally wrong.
Uh-oh,
Totally wrong. Totally wrong.
teaching us something about like,
26 miles. All right, we're going to, there's 52, what was that again?
137,280.
280. We got to multiply it times 3 feet because the sidewalk is 3 feet long. So what do we have?
411,840.
411,
1,840.
480.
840.
So 411,840.
And
Divided
then divide
by-
that by the acres. And that's 9.45.
9.45. And we would round. We'd round to whatever the nearest choice that I give you. So 9.5.
how many, number of square feet in 26 miles feet?
Well,
What?
you've got 26 miles. Well, there's 52,000 feet
Each mile, that's
each mile. Well, then you got to multiply it by 3 because the sidewalk.
right.
Well, couldn't you convert that to square yards? Because it's 3 feet wide, it's a yard.
Well, that's not what the question was. Just asking how many acres did they shovel? How many acres did they shovel? So I'm wondering if we did that last problem right.
Yeah, because I was gonna keep going because of the 3, because we seemed to stop short and we didn't do anything with the 3, so.
That's right. That's right. So we'll go back to that problem. Wow. Can't believe I made that mistake. All right, so let's go back to the previous problem. After each snowstorm, the maintenance department removes snow from 26 miles of sidewalks. So again, 26 miles. And then times the 5280. 137.
Yeah, then 280.
Because it's, remember, 3 feet.
And then that's 411,840.
So that's how many square feet we're doing. Well, So the snowfall, they had a 6-inch snowfall. Suppose every snowfall, even the blankets out, how much cubic feet has been shoveled by Forsyth Tech maintenance crew this year so far? So they've only had a 6-inch storm. So we're just going to times this by 6 inches. And you having the construction calculator, what is that? If we did our square feet times 6 inches, basically going to cut it in half and give us cubic feet, because 6 inches is also,
Just about half, yeah.
so we'll cut that in half.
And you would just get 205,920.
Yes, yes. Tell me that again.
205,920.
Cubic feet. So I apologize for missing this. On the first math problem, we left off the 3 feet too. Hopefully you guys are understanding that now, and just go back when you're looking at this video, remember that we had to go back to that first math problem. Fun stuff though. So we solved a problem together. Okay, another math problem. So another math problem. If you get 5,000 square feet out of a 50-pound bag of ice melt for pre-treats, how many bags did the Forsyth Tech maintenance crew put out on the sidewalks before the snow event? Remember, they have 26 miles and there's 5,280 feet a mile, and the average sidewalk width is 3 feet. So how many bags did they get? Okay, so we're going to get 5,000 per 50-pound bag. All right, they did it 26 miles. So again, we're using this math. 280. What does that equal to?
130,280. 137,280.
So 137,280. And then we got to multiply that times 3.
That's the 411,840.
So they have total square feet. So basically,
Just divide that by 5,000.
about 5,000.
That's 82.36. So
So we round up to 83.
bags.
Okay.
That's all bags.
Huh?
That's all a 50-pound
So,
bag.
yeah, but they'll put 50 bag pallets, so they'll go get a couple pallets. Well worth it.
Well, actually, they shut the school down because of snow flurries, and then they don't sell anything until now.
Actually, we have heated sidewalks in front of the tech building.
Oh, you do?
What?
Yeah.
Well, last
Like
year
the
I
newer
came to
buildings,
school
they're
last-
putting them.
Last spring semester, I came to school and the school was closed because of snow flurries. That's why I had to check it.
Y'all missed a lot of days last year.
That was terrible. My semester.
Got to do makeup work and stuff. And I mean,
I hope you don't have it again this year. That was.
I do.
No.
All right, landscapes account for what percentage of annual freshwater usage? Same place that we talked about the golf courses.
Can I peek at my notes? Can we just peek?
2.9. Y'all be back. Y'all be at home watching this video right now.
Total freshwater usage, is that what you said?
Hmm?
Frantically writing it.
All right. More than how many? We're looking for a fraction of cemeteries contract out their landscape management services. And we're talking about we're marketing to these services. A third of your cemeteries sub out their mowing. They can have all that they want. It's not something I want to do. I don't want to be weed eating around all those headstones weekly.
I did it. I worked at a graveyard cemetery one time. The only reason I say that, we help with the lower the body down and stuff like that. they did actually mow and stuff. They stayed there,
Yeah.
did other stuff. And saw some crazy stuff. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah. All right. Salting and hauling operations are typically included in a per inch for snow removal. Is this true or false? It's per inch. Are they going to include salting and hauling? So we're going to haul the snow off. Is this true or false? So salting and hauling operations are typically included in a per inch for snow removal.
I would say yes.
It's false. It's false. Go back to the snow chapter, and they talk about per hour push, per inch push, per event. But if you're doing it in per inch, you're not going to do salting or hauling. You're just doing it based on the number of inches of snow. All right. The greatest reluctance for people investing in their landscape and turf is what?
Oh, that's all about the cost, or is it?
Cost. The cost of doing it. Cost of maintaining it. All right. The landscape service industry in the United States generates how much revenue annually? It's a range. It's in the billions. Looking at 40 to 60 billion annually that the total landscape generates. All right.
And a supervisor whose father-in-law took care of a ball field up in Minnesota or something like that, he got paid $10,000 a month for his outfit that they take care of.
Do what now?
A football field in Minnesota. A guy worked for his father-in-law, had a business that took care of a football stadium in Minnesota. He got paid $10,000 a month.
It's a lot of money, but how many days are they there? Being on a football field, he's probably there every single day. All right, the majority of landscape contractors produce less than how much in annual revenue? We're thinking about a lot of small mom and pops.
200,000.
200,000.
Remember that.
200,000 sounds pretty good, not? Especially if it's just you working. All right, the top 50 landscape contracting firms in the nation hold what percentage of the market? These are the top 50.
Wasn't it like?
1/3.
It was a small number. Wasn't it like
15%.
15%.
15%. And we saw on that one slide about how much money some of these guys make. What's the largest company right now? Not compared to the book, but what was in our PowerPoint?
U.S.
It's Valley Crest, I believe. East Valley Crest was the top producer. They're like all over now. They're like buying everywhere.
These right customers, you make some pretty good money in that. My brother-in-law works for Reno's Power Equipment in High Point. He said these guys, they'll buy one of the Walker riding lawnmowers for like $8,000 to $10,000.
That's
They'll
pretty.
finance it, and they'll pay it off within 3 months.
Yeah.
So
The
that's much money.
Walkers cost more than $8,000.
8 to 10,000. Well, that's what it was a few years ago. 8 to 10,000.
You're probably looking at probably 12 to 14. All right, the 2 months that you need to market and pursue snow removal contracts is when? Nope. August is one.
August, March.
No, they're side by side. It's July and August. I always think about that. Think about, like, we always did Christmas in July. We started marketing our Christmas decor stuff too. We're going after the winter services in July, August, because why? Property managers are already starting to think about budgets for next year. All right, true or false? There's tremendous demand for students trained in landscape management and all other areas of the green industry. It's true. That's why you guys are here. All right, when developing a marketing strategy, you must answer which of the following questions. You guys tell me some of the questions. What's the first thing you need to know when developing your marketing strategy? It's
Your services.
your services. What do you sell? What types of services? Good. Good job. What's the next question you need to look at? You've determined what you're selling.
Did you say it?
Who are you selling to? Who are your potential customers? And then, what's another one?
I think I had what makes you ahead of you.
Well, some advantages and disadvantages, of course. But what else do you need to know? You're selling your services, you know your products, you know what you're selling, your competition. Competition. Drive through the neighborhoods and see who else is working in the neighborhoods that you want to be in. What are the most effective ways to market your snow removal services during the months of pursuing it? So it's July, August. What's the best way for us to market our snow removal? Because who are we primarily going to go after? Homeowners aren't going to, they're going to flag you down when they see you drive by with a truck. We're going after what? Property managers, apartment complexes, commercial properties, the mall, things like that. So how would we market our snow removal to them? It's more professional. So we wouldn't use door hangers or flyers. Don't get me wrong, that works for certain things.
Like just talking to them?
No, it'd be direct mail. Do what?
Internet?
It'd be direct mail and then follow up with the phone call. That's the simplest, most effective way to get your snow removal. Nice direct mail piece.
I was going to say phone calls, but I remember you talking about how I could be really finicky.
Well, and when I say that, I'm talking more as homeowners. Now, in the business world, when it's business to business, you're going to do some cold calling. You'll do that. But you send them a nice brochure about your snow removal services. You hadn't heard from them, you just do a simple follow-up call. Hey, did you get my information on snow removal? Would you be interested in us pricing out doing your snow removal? All right, what usually determines a snowfall and when plowing operations will begin? What determines a snowfall? So really talking about accumulation of inches. What determines this to be a snowfall and when you would initiate plowing operations?
3 inches.
Less than that,
Isn't that an inch?
an inch. Yeah, usually you're going to activate your crews at 1 inch. People are going to start freaking out when it gets 1 inch.
Less than that down here.
People
Yeah, but New York and stuff like that, that's flurries.
Yeah.
The inch.
What is the dollar amount of irrigation components and systems sold annually? It's in the millions.
800.
800 million. Good job, man. You're reading. Yeah.
I knew it was a lot. I wrote down this question.
And it's probably increased since this chapter, since this textbook was written, which has only been a couple of years ago. What is the minimum amount of liability insurance that you need to carry when conducting snow removal operations? We've talked about this in marketing management too. It's pretty much across the board when you're doing landscape. So you'd have it for your snow removal.
Is it in the 100,000s?
More now.
It wasn't me.
It's $1 million. Yeah. Pretty much you're just going to buy it for $1 million.
Is it something you can just buy for a month?
Well, what you can do is you can cancel your policy. If you needed it, you could go and get general liability, workers' comp, and then you can cancel your policy, and then you'd get like a refund part of it back.
Would they charge you to cancel?
I don't know. sometimes they're gonna cancel on you. It's, I mean, you'll see that happen. You have too many accidents, and they'll just cancel you. And the thing is, they won't notify you.
Oh, I got a refund check from Allstate Friday. I haven't had Allstate in about 3 years. I've had this backup.
Yeah.
They found out they overcharged me. So you're going to send me a refund check.
All right. What is the most effective and inexpensive method for retaining your present customers and obtaining new ones? It's always cheaper to keep a customer than it is to get a new one. So what's the best way to retain them and then add new ones? It's doing quality work, doing a good job,
That's what I was thinking about. I was trying to think of the word.
doing a good job, because you get a good job, you do a good job, they're going to refer you to somebody else. What is the most profitable snow removal method if you use good equipment and expertise? So you're subbing out contractors.
Oh, subcontract. I hate that I remember reading this.
Most profitable. Most profitable.
Per your time into it.
Yeah, would it be per season, per push, per inch, per hour?
Per season,
Read them one more time.
Per season, per push,
Per
per
push.
inch, per push. That's your most profitable. If you've got good equipment, you've got expertise guys running the plows for you. What percentage of consumers, what is the percentage of consumers who purchase products and services from direct mail?
Can you say that one more time?
What is the percentage of consumers who purchase products and services from direct mail? So you send out direct mail. You have a 20% chance of the potential client looking at your piece for how many seconds? 8 seconds. Well, out of the total consumers, and not just landscape, this is pretty much all direct mail stuff, but what is the percentage of consumers who actually purchase things that they receive from direct mail?
5%.
10%. 10%. So you have a 20% chance that they're going to look at the marketing piece for 8 seconds. And then out of those that look at it, 10% would buy.
So basically, you just break even on
No, direct.
it.
We've done really well with direct mail. You don't get everybody. It's expensive because you design a nice piece to mail out. And then is it better to use bulk mail rate, or is it better to have that personalized stamp? And personalized stamp, it's going to cost you more, but it just looks better. It looks like it's not been generated, through a computer. But that you don't send it out to everybody. See what I'm saying? Like I said, my favorite customer again is the 2-income household. That live in like a vinyl siding house, brick facade, small yard. But if I wanted to go into Buena Vista and start marketing landscape design and installation, doing high-end patios, high-end landscaping, I'm not going to send that bulk mail to everybody in Winston. I'm going to target that neighborhood. So I'll focus it and put the money that I have to spend for direct mail in that neighborhood. And generally, you're going to get way more than what you spend. I mean, people respond to that, especially if you do a nice brochure. So what is the term used to describe the symbol that your clients and competitors will recognize about your organization? Your logo. When considering the purchase of a truck for snow removal operations, consider one with what? You've got a snow plow, you're putting it on the truck. What type of truck would you want to buy?
4-wheel drive.
Well, you want 4-wheel drive. Do you want manual transmission, or do you want automatic? Huh?
I will get manual.
I would use automatic. Get automatic with what?
Overdrive.
You want a high duty clutch. I mean, you want automatic transmission with a heavy duty. You want a heavy duty automatic. Think about it. You're sitting in the cab of the truck. I mean, if you're changing gears all the time, and you're always having to look backwards, but get the heavy duty automatic transmission. It's what I recommend. It's what the book recommends. I would hate to think I had to plow with the automatic. I mean, with the manual 5-speed.
Well, that's what I learned on 5-ton
Huh?
truck, 5-ton dump truck, is, where I plow snow up in there.
Yeah. Well, it's different if you're on the road. If you're on the roads, just going straight, just think about all these backing up, turning. I mean, it's wear and tear on your body. It's snow removal. Everybody thinks just ride in the truck, but it's probably one of the hardest work. Long hours, long nights.
Especially if you don't have
Can't
drugs.
see. All right, tell me some add-on services for a landscape management company.
Liquid lawn service.
Oh, this is like the sidewalk question, or like sidewalk.
What does your book talk about?
This is the-
For one would be holiday decorations. Seasonal color. What is seasonal color when we talk about the annuals? There's companies that just specialize in putting annuals out. They work for homeowners, they work for commercial clients, they work for a lot of other landscapers. They specifically just work as subcontractors for a lot of larger companies, taking care of their annual beds. And then landscape renovation, going in and redoing somebody's front foundation planning could be a nice add-on service.
One of the questions, what is the hottest add-on service?
And what is that?
I couldn't figure it. You had a list. I couldn't see it in the book where what the hottest one was. I heard that liquid lawn service was one. The spray and
Yeah.
fertilizer.
Well, holiday decorations is the hottest. A lot of guys are getting into that. All right, what is the, which one of the marketing techniques would cost you the least but often brings in the most business? They're really not going to cost you anything.
Flyers.
It costs money.
Oh,
Costs money to print, costs money to put them out.
word of mouth.
Social media. Word of mouth is good, but you got to have clients that are giving you good word of mouth. Just think about it. Word of mouth is the hardest thing for a new company to get. With social media is cheap, inexpensive. All it takes is a little bit of your time. You're not having to pay somebody to do it. You're not having to purchase the materials. All right, which of the following pricing methods for snow removal is the easiest to figure, but the profit margins may be lower due to competing directly with competitors' pricing? And we have per push, per hour, per season, per inch.
I didn't catch all the questions. Which is the
All right, which of the following pricing methods for snow removal is the easiest to figure, but the profit margins may be lower due to competing directly with competitors' prices?
Per season.
Per push?
Per season.
Per hour.
Or
Per hour. Hey, I get $60 an hour. Somebody's doing it for 55. You'd do it for 55 to get it. It's easy to price, but you're competing directly for that. And a lot of these guys they can't figure out per push, per inch, or anything like that. You're competing directly with their price. And I would never do it per hour, because why? You may have a parking lot that you can do in 30 minutes. They're not going to give you the full hour. He's only here 30 minutes. You charge 60, we'll give you 30. Which snow removal method would you use for large accounts in areas of the country where snowfall totals can range from 0 to 60 inches per year. And just think about it. You've got that. It ranged from 0 to 60. Now, if it was, the average snowfall is 30 inches per year, you'd want to do per season. You just kind of know how much it's going to cost. What if they have 0 per inch? You'd use per inch, because this year we're already noticing that now. We may not get any this year, but you guys missed a lot of school last year. You do not want to schedule 100% of your capabilities during a snow or ice event, because people are going to lay out, equipment's going to break down. So what do you typically schedule your equipment for? You usually have a reserve of equipment and stuff. So if you have 5 trucks with plows on them, how many of them would you want out there?
If you have 5 trucks?
Well, if you had 4, to make the percentage come out right. You'd run 80% of them. You'd run the 3 trucks, or the 4 trucks, 4 out of 5. 20%. You save 20%. You don't want to take all your employees out there to start, because you'd want to start rotating them in and out. You wouldn't want to schedule all your trucks out, because what if you have one break down?
So save 20, send out 80.
Yeah.
I'm saying, so you save 20%, send out 80%.
Yeah. But does everybody do that?
No.
No, that's recommended. Everybody's going to be running everything they got to get as much money as they can.
I always wondered, how do you calculate your repairs on your vehicles? I know you can write everything off, but
That's just part of doing business. Your customer ain't going to pay for that.
you have like an estimated annual, I got 5 trucks. It's gonna cost me $10,000 a year for repairs on the vehicles.
There's really no set way to figure that. I mean, if you're buying brand new stuff to start out with, you're not going to have any expenses.
Right.
And guys that lease their equipment, they might lease the truck. Well, if you're leasing it, you just take it back to the dealership and they're going to fix it. They're supposed to give you another one. But if you buy brand new stuff, you're going to get 4 or 5 years before stuff starts wearing and tearing.
Yeah.
And then just the general maintenance. You'll know how much you'll know how much tires are, how much the oil changes and stuff like that. But it's I'm sure there's somewhere you can find a way to figure. But if you buy an older truck, yeah, you're gonna. And it's hard to say. Transmission might go out in one. You might blow a motor in one. You don't know. You don't know when you start buying used equipment. The easiest and least expensive disposal method of leaves for many landscape sites is to mulch them into the turf. True or false? The easiest and least expensive disposal method of leaves for many landscape sites is to mulch. It's true. Leaf mulching is not for every landscape manager or site. True or false? True. Why is that? True. The clients too.
Clients,
Yeah,
they want them back.
They want it taken off their property. I want it pushed into the yard.
Which composting method is the choice for most landscape firms and communities that have leaf composting operations? Would it be intermediate level, low level, high level, or static aerated piles? Which composting method is the choice for most landscape companies or communities that have leaf composting operations?
Intermediate level.
Intermediate level.
Because the big
The big one.
ones smell,
Mm-hmm.
they have to be way out somewhere.
Yeah. Yep. All right, which of the following trees hold their leaves into winter and early spring and will affect your leaf removal operations? Dogwood, maple, oaks, or cherries. The oaks. They're going to hang on to them.
And mine are still hanging on the theirs. I don't know what I'm going
To make leaf removal more efficient, the landscape manager must what? You guys tell me. You guys kind of did one. It's a lab exercise.
What was that again?
To make leaf removal efficient, the landscape manager must what?
I would say put it on the street.
Make a plan.
Make a plan. You got to do that. What else do you have to have?
You know the measurements of the property.
Let's be part of the plan. What else do you need to have to do the job?
Equipment.
The equipment, necessary equipment. And then last but not least,
Couple Mexicans.
Is it not mainly?
disposal site or place to haul them to, whether it's on site or off site.
There's a place on High Point, it's free, you know, you take all of the leaves and all that stuff. Branch or whatever.
Yeah, but for somebody that's working in Winston-Salem, is it efficient to drive to High Point to dump the leaves? It's,
Keep it closed.
yeah. All right, landscape management is a business, but is also considered which of the following? An art, a science, or a profession?
Art,
That's one.
profession,
That's two.
science.
Yeah, it's considered all three.
Is it all of them?
It's all three. The author talks about
Is there
that.
an all of above?
There's an all of the answers.
So you're gonna give us, they're gonna just circle all of them.
Now, what is the most major expense that landscape management firms face?
Labor.
Labor. Labor. Good horticulturalists do not have to be good business people. True or false? Or false. You got to be a good business guy or gal. Students in all landscape curricula should receive education in English, math, humanities,
Yes?
all of them.
Right.
Oh, that was multiple choice.
If you make a horticulture mistake, you lose the crop. If you make a business mistake, you lose the farm. True or false? It's true. All right, which of the following are measurable standards that the customers look for from their landscape management firm? I've given you guys 0 errors in orders and paperwork, honest answers to problems, and to be spontaneous and flexible.
All three.
That's all three. Word of mouth advertising, this is true or false. Word of mouth advertising is the best advertising for a brand new landscape management company starting. It's false. Company uniforms should not have the employee's name on them. True or false? Why is that?
You don't, I mean, I don't necessarily, but you don't want them to be individual, like you want them to be part of your business, I guess, kind of, like you want them to be, not really. yours, but
The answer is false. You do want them to have
it
it.
is.
Yes.
I would think that custom is.
What it is,
Steel?
what it is you're working for somebody. The customer comes out. They can look and say, oh, they're better.
Oh, like who they talk to
Yeah.
and stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Makes it easier for the customer.
To identify people.
Got stopped in with veterans saying to get some free coffee the other day, and Paige Lee was there. She said, "How you doing, Miss Clemens?" I said, "How do you remember my name?" I said, "Well, I saw my name."
I love this.
Uniforms are proven employee benefits and a popular employment perk. Uniforms improve what? What do they improve?
Parents.
Improve the appearance,
Well,
employee morale,
did it make you look good too?
loyalty and pride, team unity.
To get a team up,
Unity.
you
So it'd be all the answers. And true or false? Tree leaves can shade turf and bedding plants, robbing them of photosynthetic activity in the autumn. It's true.
I'm sorry. I need to sit close or something. Can you say that question one more time?
Tree leaves, it's true or false? Tree leaves can shade turf and bedding plants, robbing them of photosynthetic activity. True or false?
True.
It's true.